ladies and gentlemen, we're now joined on stage by Quentin Wilson and Lawrence Whitaker of Lister Cars. And first of all, Quentin, thank you very much for joining us. Race Retro, is this the first time you've been here, or have you visited the show before?
No, this is a regular haunt for me. I don't live very far away, so it would be remiss if I didn't come here. But what's great about this is that every year it gets bigger and bigger, and the enthusiasm you see out there grows and grows and grows. So it's a landmark show in the motorsport calendar in the UK, and it's just lovely to see this industry just getting more and more successful. And you don't realise it, but the classic car industry in the UK is worth £5 billion every year. So this little hobby for a lot of sad blokes with dirty fingernails and oil in their hair and spanners and relationship issues is massive. And the lovely thing is that it's all getting really quite cool. You watch all these music videos, all these TV ads, and in there is always a classic car. So they're really mainstream now. It's not a kind of marginalised hobby for sad people with body hygiene issues.
It's no longer the midlife crisis.
No,
is this what you're telling
not at all.
me? Fantastic. Now, we could talk to you about many different things with your career, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to focus on the Lister project that you are heavily involved in, of redeveloping one of the classic cars of our eras.
Well, this show marks the worldwide exclusive unveiling of the first Lister Nobly recreation. And I'm a great, patriot. I think we do this automotive stuff in the UK much, much better than anybody else in the world. And here's a company that, and Lawrence is here, he's the CEO, he'll tell you all about it in a minute, but what's so great is that Lister is one of the most hallowed names in motorsport. They competed and won sort of 2,000 races between 1954 and 59. Incredibly fast, incredibly wonderfully handling cars, and they're being recreated in the same factory in Cambridge, using the same tools, dies, jigs, plans, and some of the staff. And this tool room turnkey replica that you're making is just one of the examples of how wonderful the British automotive industry is at solving problems. So look, tell us what the Lister Nobly means.
Well, the Lister Nobly, I mean, it's one of the world's most iconic racing cars, I believe. It's in 1958, this car won 12 of the 14 races that season. It broke lap records at all 14 races. Archie Scott Brown at the wheel, Sterling Moss raced the car, Ivor Blurb. It was, a very, very important car, I think, in racing history. And it's a privilege to be able to remake these cars again now at the Lister factory. And we're really excited. You can come over to the stand and have a look. We've got a really beautiful brochure for the 60th anniversary that we're, celebrating this year. 60 years since Brian Lister built the first car. And we're very, very excited about that. I think it's something that's very, very special.
And Brian Lister, I've seen him and I've met him, he comes in, doesn't he, regularly and says, you need to do that, or that's wrong, or that's what we used to do then. And I mean, it's unique that you've got the man who started it all still involved.
Well, I think Brian Lister must be one of the very few people who actually started a motor company that's still alive. I mean, he's up there with Colin Chapman in my eyes, and he comes to the factory, he's 87 years old. He comes in and he tells us how the car was originally and how it should be and what we should do differently, and it's wonderful to have that. He's a real iconic man, I think, yeah.
And also, one thing that really appeals to me is that you're making these cars and you're making sure that the Listers already out there have the benefit of all the support and the remanufacturing the parts and the chassis numbers. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, if you've got an existing Lister out there that's that's being built outside of the Lister factory, then you can bring the car back to Lister. We can sanction that car for you. We can make that car eligible for historic racing again. It's something that we're extremely excited about. It's not something that we're trying to cause anyone any problems. We just want them to bring the cars back. We'll sanction the car, make sure it's up to spec, and they can take that car historic racing again. The new cars that we're going to make are going to be a continuation chassis number, so you'll get a new chassis number from the DVLA for your new car, and they will come with the HT passport, so you can go historic racing with these cars. We're going to have our own Brian Lister Cup, which we will be able to race alongside the Sterling Moss Trophy at Motor Racing Legends, and Brian Lister will present that trophy as well. to whoever wins that particular race. So yeah, we're very excited about that as well.
And you really are getting noticed globally. I can't tell who's actually bought some cars, but you've had some very heavyweight people put their name down for these cars, and I know why.
Yeah, we've had a fantastic interest. I mean, we've had inquiries from Hiroshima, from Canada, from America, India, all over the world, and you know, we've had the first person who ordered one of these cars is the chairman of a very well-known Formula One team, so we're excited about that as well.
And also the fact that if you buy a Lister Nobly recreation now, next year it's going to be worth, what, 150 grand more than you pay for it?
Well, hopefully. You heard it here first.
But, you know, a real original Lister is what, 1 million, 1.2, 1.3, so this is a very reasonable way of owning a proper sanctioned Lister for what, how much is it?
Our cars are 249,000 plus VAT, and yeah, I mean, an original Lister Nobly from 1958 is, as you say, in the region of 1.5 million pounds now. BHL 101, which was the very first Lister, was sold at Pebble Beach last year for $1.9 million, and that car is going to come back up for sale in May. And I think that the fact that we are back and we're making these, you know, recreation Lister Noblys has done nothing to damage the price. In fact, I think it's helped the price. You know, cars have gone up in value since the Lister brand has been out there and we're in the press. But yeah, I think the car is definitely an investment. It's going to go up in value, and I think easily in 5 years' time you're going to be looking at a car that's worth 150, 200,000 pounds more than what it is worth at the moment, than what we sell it for.
Tax-free as well. Also, can I tell people that you might be going to Goodwood?
Yeah, we've been invited to Goodwood today. We're looking forward to going down and meeting Lloyd March and sussing it all out, and then yeah, we'll definitely be at Goodwood in September at the revival.
Quentin, you did a wonderful job. Thank you very much. That's all that's left to say, I think. Obviously, you're going to be involved throughout the rest of the phase of building the car. Will you actually be testing any at all?
No, actually, I think success in life is about knowing what your limitations are, and I will only crash it, which would not be a good idea. But we're going. Lawrence, tell us who's going to test drive it.
Well, hopefully we're going to get Tiffany Dell to come and test drive the car once it's finished, and anybody who buys a Lister will actually get a training session with Tiff, where he'll take them out on the track and hopefully give them some lessons that will improve their driving skills.
Tiff, as you know, is one of the world's best racing drivers, and I worked with him for 15 years on Top Gear, and he's so talented that you can stand there doing a piece to camera. Tiff will be driving at you at 150 miles an hour, and he will stop that distance from your legs, and you can't flinch. But I mean, his balletic skill in a car is amazing. So that'll be great, and we'll be filming that. So good. Congratulations, Lawrence. It's great.
Well, thank you to both of you. I know we're sort of out of time for the interview now, but you will be back with us over the course of the show, and we'll be able to find out more. And if anybody's got questions, like Quentin said and Lawrence said, please do visit the stand. It's a spectacular looking stand too. Yeah,
if you want to know anything about Lister or classic cars or the market or what the future might hold, please do come up and say hello, and I'd be more than delighted to chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.